Hey everybody, Austin here again with another Let's Play video. Today it is going to be Tempo Jr. for the Sega Game Gear. It's actually been quite a while since I've done a Game Gear Let's Play. I think the last one was Mega Man, which was actually a pretty fun playthrough. Recently I actually did the original Tempo game on live stream. It's just called Tempo, and it was for the Sega 32X. For those of you guys that don't know, the 32X was an add-on for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. And Tempo was probably one of the best looking traditional 2D games on the system. And apparently the same year, Sega had also released a junior version of the game on the Game Gear. Now apparently this is an actual follow-up to the game as far as story is concerned. Your friend Katie, who was actually featured in the Sega 32X version, has been kidnapped, according to the instruction manual. But I don't know if I personally see the game as a full-on sequel or follow-up, because it takes existing levels from the 32X game and basically just shrinks them down. And it's got the same TV show game concept as well before you go into each level. And it's also got a lot of the same boss fights. So it's more just like a shrunken down version of the 32X game, but with slightly different gameplay. And much easier bosses and levels and whatnot. It also pretty much ditches the whole exploration mechanic and scoring system mechanic. In the original 32X game, you wanted to try to score as much as you can. That way when you beat the game, you would get a different ending. You would get a better item at the end of the game show, and your ending would change based on, you know, how well you did throughout the game, how long you spent exploring the levels, and how many items you got, and points you got, and whatnot. So Tempo Jr. is a very shrunken down experience in comparison, but it's still a fairly fun game. As you can see, we got the Sega Club label there. The game is extremely easy. I think I got a 1 life clear in my very first playthrough of this game when I played this on Twitch. And so, yeah, this game definitely is on the easy side of things, definitely geared towards kids, but still a solidly made game and still enjoyable, I would say. Probably still worth at least one playthrough if you're a fan of Sega Game Gear games. And if you're not a fan of Sega Game Gear games, or you do like them but you don't really go out of your way to play them, you know, just kick back and relax and just sort of chill out to this playthrough of Tempo Jr. So with that, let's go ahead and hit the start button and just go ahead and just jump right into the game. Now there is no difficulty select in this game, unfortunately, so you know, this isn't the kind of game where I'm going to be coming back to it, you know, over the years. I'm probably gonna, it's kind of like a one and done kind of game for me, or two and done in the case of me personally, because this is my second playthrough. So yeah, Tempo, you can actually throw out musical notes and then attack enemies. Tempo actually automatically kicks enemies when you get close to them, and it's probably best to stun enemies with your notes, just like so, and then try to land on them. If you try to land on them, I found that the collision detection is a little weird in this game, and you'll end up taking hits when you don't mean to. So you'll try to jump forward and then jump onto them, and then Tempo will actually take damage, which is not good. So, but yeah, Tempo basically shoots out these musical notes. They shoot out a lot faster than they do in the 32X game. But just like the 32X Tempo, you can stun enemies and then jump on them or kick them. Double tapping forward allows Tempo to sort of flutter across the screen, kind of like this. It's a little weird to do. Sometimes your inputs are just eaten. I don't know why, and I still haven't quite figured that out. So it is a little tricky to get it consistently when you want it to happen, or when you want it to come out. But there are lots of other power-ups you can get in the game as well. You got sharp symbols, you've got flat symbols. They affect how your notes go. So right now I got a sharp symbol, which means my notes are going upwards. If I get a flat symbol, they go down. These flowers right here, you want to just bring them back to life. Those are checkpoints. I did not know they were checkpoints until reading the manual, because again, I didn't die in my last playthrough of the game. When you kill enemies, sometimes they leave behind these notes, and then they increase your health bar at the top left. Now, one really fun thing in this game is that when your health is full, you can actually press both buttons together, both buttons 1 and 2, and you'll actually do a dance on the screen. So now my health bar is flashing. If I press both buttons together, I will dance just like this. And enemies will give me coins, and then just like in the 32X Tempo, I can use those coins to play bonus games, which is pretty cool as well. So Let me go ahead and just probably dash my way through most of the rest of the game, honestly. The goal of each level is to get this, this golden note, and getting that golden note allows you to exit the level. So this is a zigzag sign. It makes your notes go back and forth, or just zigzag up and down. This is a pit. You don't want to fall down that. You'll lose a little bit of health. Tempo will basically bounce out of it and then lose some health. Something to note about your dance move is that you will actually lose a significant portion of your health bar. So, I don't plan on playing the little mini games in this playthrough, to be honest with you. I plan on just sort of blitzing right through the game, because they're very basic. There's one that's just kind of like Simon Says game, and then there's another one where you smack a mallet into a... well, it's kind of like a test your strength kind of game, but it's, I don't know, I'll explain it when we get to it. I'll probably demonstrate each one once, and then that's it. So again, those CDs there, they give you health back. And again, the goal of the game is just to get the gold key on each level, and then find the exit. Usually the keys are pretty close to the exit. And let's go ahead and come on up here. There's a gold coin right there, and there's our musical note. Don't know if I have to go back actually, but let's go ahead and hit that for our checkpoints, and I just ran right into that enemy. Now, one other thing you can do is when you dash, you can press button 1, which allows Tempo to roll into enemies, and that's very, very useful. These little guys up here, those are extra lives, and so pretty straightforward there. And I'm trying to figure out if I need to go all the way to the top left first, or if I come down here and I end up looping around. I think I end up looping around. So again, that CD up there is some health. I don't really need it. So we're gonna go ahead and just dash our way through, just like so. Yeah, this game was clearly geared towards kids in terms of its overall design, and you know, its overall level design and its challenge. I think I would have actually really enjoyed this game as a kid. You know, as someone that actually owned a Game Gear when they were current, that was my first handheld. You know, I probably would have really enjoyed this game as a kid. Even as like a teen, like someone that just really liked video games, I probably would have, you know, quite enjoyed myself with this game. As an adult, it's still mildly entertaining. You know, it's not bad or anything. It's just, as someone who likes a challenge these days, there's, you know, it's again kind of a one and done playthrough for me. And I suspect that's probably how it'll be for a lot of people that decide to give this game a try. And this is our first boss here. You can try to hop on his head, just like so. One thing I like to do is just try to run into him and just basically slam into him. One thing I really like about this game compared to the 32X Tempo is that the bosses are a hell of a lot easier, which is actually a good thing, because in the 32X Tempo, the bosses weren't difficult because, like, they had really hard patterns or something like that. They were difficult because the collision detection was made absolutely no sense in the game. And you would try to jump on an enemy when they were wide open, and you would get hurt for some reason. Like, you had to jump on them at just the right time, but there was no indication on when that right time was. It was just a complete crapshoot. And then Tempo himself was very stiff. And he's still stiff in this game, but it's not as big of a detriment in this game because you don't have all those other collision issues to worry with or to worry about. So I do find the boss fights actually a lot more enjoyable in this game. So I do wish you could kill them a little bit faster, because as you can see, you're really only doing 1 hit point per. Now you might be able to use your dance on them. I haven't tried that yet, and we might have to try that to see what happens. The story in the manual doesn't make any sense though, because they say Katie's been kidnapped, but there's Katie right there. That's Katie. So she actually pairs up with you in the 32X game. And so let's go ahead and not continue. So basically what I did is I just skipped out of the bonus stage. It's just a kind of a Simon Says game, and it takes a little while to go through. So we're just gonna go straight into our next level, and then just dash our way through the game. Although I should be pretty careful here because, you know, when you go into the next level, your health bar does actually reset. So my health bar is fairly low now. So I do want to try to kill enemies, get my health bar up before I start going ballistic with my fluttering, my buzz dash, I think is what they call it, or something like that. And it looks like I actually fell all the way back down to the beginning here. Some levels are a little confusing because they, you know, like these bricks look like I shouldn't be able to run into them. I should be able to like walk on top of them, but no. You know, they're part of the background. So a little confusing. These guys right here, you just jump on their lips. They get some big old lips. And we'll go ahead and just run into him. Yeah, you know, usually when I do Let's Plays, I like to try to focus on giving you guys tips and strategies and things like that. Not a lot of tips and strategies to divulge in Tempo Junior, being a game that was likely geared towards kids. But you do have some hidden items behind this column, which is nice. I always like it when games do that. Let's go ahead and hop on him. And we've got some notes there, or some piano keys, I should say. Just flutter over this way. Now, one thing I do actually miss from the 32X tempo is that the running jump. You don't have that in this game. So when you do your buzz dash, you can't actually jump from it. So you do have to actually stop before you jump again. So it's actually very easy to slam into enemies if you're not careful, which is why knowing to do the roll is very important. So if you want to just blitz right through this game and sort of speed run it, you need to make sure that, you know, you're doing your roll when you see an enemy on screen. So I saw the golden key up top, so we're gonna go ahead and just keep working our way up top. I'm sure we'll just end up looping around. The keys aren't usually hidden or anything like that. Something I did want to mention though is that when you jump in this game, your vertical momentum is halted when you shoot your notes. So if you're trying to shoot these guys in the air, you need to make sure that you're high enough, because tempo will actually start falling right back to the ground if you shoot your notes too early. So that is actually one interesting mechanic. Let's go ahead and grab that, and then grab that, and then we can just go ahead and start running again, dashing. But yeah, pretty basic game, but it is chill. It is enjoyable for what it is. You know, not a whole lot of effort involved. You know, when you hit enemies, you just run right into them. You don't even have to kick manually. In a 32X game, there is kicking, manual kicking. I think you press A to kick in that game. And you can also do a ducking attack. In this game, you can't do that. Pretty neat though, you can actually scroll the screen down, and it actually starts scrolling down immediately. You can also scroll it up, which is nice. And Tempo, as you can see, he's still highly animated in this game. He's a very chill-looking dude. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, to flutter in the air, by the way, you can sort of hover a little bit. You just press the jump button again in the air. It's nothing too complex. And I got hit by that guy even though he didn't actually touch me. The hitboxes are so big on some of these enemies. So, kind of annoying, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. It's a very simple Game Gear game that isn't very difficult. If it was a hard game and that collision detection was there, I would find it really annoying. But right now, it's not the end of the world. And just slam right through him. So we're already on the level 2 of level 2, or part 2 of level 2. And I don't know how I got hit by him, but I did. That was weird. See if there's anything. Well, let's go ahead and shoot that. Go ahead and see if there's anything behind that column. Nothing behind that column. And jump up. Tempo automatically kicks him. Go ahead and do our roll attack, just like that. And that. And I don't know where the keys are, to be honest with you. You know, I don't have these levels memorized or anything like that. The game is so simple that I was like, you know, let me just fire the game up, do a quick warm-up round, and then we'll just record the Let's Play without really memorizing the stages or anything. So again, we're after the key, the gold key, and that's a coin. I don't really need the coins, so I'm just gonna skip it. And just kind of hop on that guy, hop up here, and go up this way. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the coin. Okay, there's the key. I actually have to go back. And I'm going to actually end up taking a hit here, unfortunately. Nothing I could do about that. The ceiling on that previous floor section was too low for me to actually be able to jump without hitting my head. ahead and just take a hit. We just tanked, but it's not a big... Wow, we tanked again. What the hell's going on? This collision detection is definitely really kind of bad in this game. Like I said, if the game was a lot more challenging, I would complain about it a lot more. But it's very noticeable. You know, you take a hit when there's a clear, big, visible gap between you and the enemy. So what I was talking about here is, notice that like this ceiling is very low. See, it's very, very difficult actually to jump over like that and get back. So you kind of want to get the key first. You're more likely to actually bump your head and then take a hit. So not the biggest deal in the world. We still have a lot of our health. And we're going to be able to get probably some of it back here with some of these enemies if we really wanted to. But I mean, it's not really the end of the world. Exit's probably here. Yeah, the key has a tendency of being very close to the exit. And this is going to take us to our second boss fight. All you have to do here is just shoot. Just like this. Just constantly shoot. And since my health bar is full, I'm going to actually try to dance and see what happens. Oh, you can't actually dance on the bosses. Interesting. I tried dancing and nothing happened. So you press both buttons 1 and 2 together to dance. And it did nothing. It didn't come out. So I guess you can't actually use your dance on the bosses, which is interesting. So in the original 32X tempo, on boss fights, these game show host heads fall down occasionally. And when you grab them, you and Katie will dance, and you'll do some damage to the boss, but it doesn't look like that actually happens in this game. The game show host head that falls down was replaced with just pressing buttons 1 and 2 to dance manually, as long as your health bar is filled. But you can't do it on these boss fights, apparently. So you don't want to get close to that guy. You can't actually jump on his head to the right. The rightmost empty lily pad is as far as you can go. There's basically an invisible wall there on that second gap, that jump over to the boss. So you just sit on the far left, you just keep mashing the button to do your musical note attack. And the musical notes typically just freeze enemies in place, which allows you to hit them, but on some enemies or bosses in the game, hitting them with the music notes actually does some damage. So this one's interesting. You need to press the button on the award that you want. Now you need to hit the button at just the right time to hopefully hit that musical note in the middle up to where you want the award to be, or the award you want to collect. It's a little weird one, so let's try to get that question mark all the way at the top. Just like that. It's still not hard enough. Of the bonus games, I think this is the better one. This is a little more enjoyable, and I still missed it. I don't know if I can collect, you know, either award on the left or right, or if it has to be just the left or just the right. There we go, I got it. 500 points. Let's go ahead and use our coins again. Oh, almost. Could have had 10,000 points. It looks like the timing is really strict on this. There we go. 5,000 points. And this is our last coin. Let's try that. Oh, we got it. So we got an extra life. Alright, that's it. So we're out of coins. No, I have another coin apparently. Okay, so we'll just do it again. And too high. I was going for the 1,000 points on the right. But okay. That was actually the first time I've actually successfully gotten an award for that, so. But yeah, a couple levels into this place, we'll be halfway through the game. Or at least one level will be halfway through the game. So again, try to jump as high as I can to, you know, actually hit these guys with my notes. And we'll go ahead and hit him with my note, and then just walk up to him. He just kicks automatically. I would like to get some health, which hasn't really happened yet. Because it would be actually quite pathetic to die in this game. Oops. And I keep... Alright, there we go. Get a CD. Get an extra life. How many lives do we have? 7 lives. This is one of those games that likes to dish out extra lives like candy. Oh, those are spikes. You don't want to touch the spikes. Also, on the ceiling, those look like background spikes. They're actually not. They're actually foreground spikes. So if you jump up and hit them, you will get hurt. That's something you have to watch out for on this level. And there's our checkpoint. And our gold key. So we got that gold key pretty early. You know, no thought or exploration required. And let's go ahead and just... Wow, okay, so he shot some projectiles out at me, which kind of go across the screen in a really choppy way. And I got hit by them, apparently, so... Go ahead and just freeze them. Go ahead and dash like that. Press B at the right time, so we don't run into the enemies. And we could probably just fall down like so. We're probably towards the end of the level already. Yeah, it's really weird. So, like, it looks like you get hit by their projectiles before the projectile even touches you. It's super awkward. Now, when it comes to its actual combat, it's definitely not the most polished thing out there, but, you know, the levels are so simple, like, I feel like it almost doesn't even matter. You know, this is not really based around really fast action. Alright, let's go to the left and see what's over here. See, again, these are just firepower changes. So, for that little room right there, you basically just pick whichever one you want. Or you're like me and you don't even really care about which way your firepower goes. Because your firepower still goes straight. You know, and that's the most important thing for me, I think. Is the firepower going straight. Alright, nothing down here. Yeah, and I got hit by the guy trying to just jump straight on him, and I did it again, so this is why you want to just use your music notes. Very, very clunky. Very janky. There we go. And go ahead and use our notes on him. Oh, that's a CD. I actually wanted the CD. Try to get all my health back. And there we go. So yeah, this is the first Game Gear Let's Play I've done in quite a while. I think I've only done one so far, and it was Mega Man for Game Gear, which was a pretty fun playthrough. I hope to do some more Game Gear stuff sometime soon. I've wanted to do the first Sonic the Hedgehog for quite a long time, as well as Predator 2, and maybe a couple of other games, like some of the Streets of Rage titles. So, you guys will probably see another Game Gear Let's Play sometime in the near future. Alright, so there's another checkpoint up here. Let's go ahead and hit that. But we can't jump up too high because there are spikes up top. You can see them right there. So what I want to do is just flutter. Just like this. Or hover. Hover, flutter. Almost the same thing in this case. Tempo falls to the bottom of the screen so slow, it almost doesn't even matter. Don't really need that CD. And there's our gold key right out in the open. And another extra life. Let's go to the left here. And that's our exit. I wonder how many kids would have gotten lost in this game back in the day. Interesting to think about. So this guy likes to shoot these projectiles vertically. You just want to dodge them to the left and right. And then you just shoot your notes at him. This is one of those instances where hitting the boss with notes actually does damage to him. And you want to just jump over that one just like so. Oops, took a hit. And mashing out of these I don't think really does anything. We'll try to mash next time if I take a hit. Oh, and I finished him off right on my last hit. I wanted to see if mashing buttons actually got me out of those faster. But alright, 3 levels down, 2 more to go. And so let's go ahead and just skip that and do no. There's also going to be a bit of a boss rush too, which is kind of cool. So, alright. So some of these levels are different from the 32X game in terms of the level themes. But some of the music is the same. So this is actually one of the tunes that's also in the 32X version of Tempo. You gonna give me a music note? Yep. How about you? Yep. Cool. Get some health back. Those coins look like you can pick them up, but they're actually just background objects. Oops, and I fell. We're gonna lose some health here. So, best to try to freeze these guys if you can, because, as you saw earlier, the collision detection on some of them is really weird. I'm just gonna fall down like so. And I don't know if I can jump straight up here. It doesn't look like I can, so we'll come this way. Flutter over this way. And then just dash this way. Oh, jump and flutter again. This is our checkpoint. Go ahead and wake up the flower. This is no time to be sleeping, flower. We've got bugs to kill. Alright, that's the sharp. Don't really need it. So we'll go ahead and just dash over this way. Yeah, you can see how this is just a really basic platformer. I mean, it's super basic. But it's still fun. You know, like I said, it's fun. I had really no major complaints playing it through the first time. Like, I saw it for what it was, just a pretty easy platformer. I really wanted to play this game because, you know, I knew about it growing up, but I never got a chance to play it. I'd only played the 32X game. And more recently I had played the Saturn game as well, which is Super Tempo. So it was cool firing this up and seeing what it was all about, basically. Just keep fluttering this way. And can we run? We can run. There we go. 1 level down. 1 more to go. So you have 5 stages. Each stage has 2 levels in it, and a boss fight. And let's go ahead and just fly over everything. Just have to find the key, wherever it is. And we've got almost a full health bar, so we can dance here in a little bit. But yeah, you can only dance when your health bar is full. There's our checkpoint. Alright, health bar is full. Let's dance. Let's see if it hurts enemies off screen. I feel like it does, because I think I killed an enemy off screen on the first level. Yep. Okay, this is a little tricky right here. And I swear, these coins in the background make me think of Super Mario coins. Like, I want to pick them up. But I can't. Because this isn't Super Mario Brothers. This is Tempo Jr. Where things that look normal are actual background objects. Like, normal pickups look like background objects. Alright, so there's a key over there. I probably have to go back. So let's go ahead and try to go back. I'm just tanking hits here. Yeah, definitely the trickiest level so far, that's for sure. You know, even though it's a game clearly made for kids, I could see some kids getting stuck at this level. Taking a lot of hits unnecessarily. Oops, I pressed jump way too early. That's something you have to watch out for in this game too, is, you know, you can sit halfway off a platform, then press jump. There's our exit. Alright, boss time. So yeah, short, simple, fun Let's Play. I have to remember what to do on this boss. I think we pretty much just hop on her. I'm just gonna flutter up, and then hop on her just like that. Flutter up. Yeah, pretty basic stuff here. Oh, it didn't. That was weird. I should have landed on her. It's kind of nice that she could just run right into your feet. All right. So one more world to go. Alright, let's go ahead and just skip through that too. So, because I don't really plan on dying on this playthrough, I don't really need to get extra lives or extra points or anything like that. Alright, so grudge match. This is a, you know, we fight the bosses again. I don't know if we fight all the bosses again. We fight at least a couple. So just, okay, let's mash. And it looks like mashing does actually get you out of that faster, so that's good to know. So we got to figure that out. Alright, there we go. One boss down. And we get to watch the dance again. Alright, and we get to fight her again. We have 10 lives left, by the way. Yeah, and you definitely cannot use your dance move on the bosses, which is kind of a shame. I think that's a missed opportunity, to be honest with you. There we go. Another dance. All right, so this is it. Last two stages. Or we can just go to a final boss. I forgot it takes you straight to a final boss. Alright, so what you want to do is have him face you, and then basically just slam into him, but you don't want to run into his tail. And he likes to block your shots, and then I'll try to do a dash. But the inputs are really weird, like it's not letting me double tap the way I want to. There we go. Get back to his front side. Just kind of keep him in a holding pattern, you know? Just, like, throw your notes at him, which forces him to block. And then you can just do your dash. Just like so. Yeah, so I've been wrong this whole time about how many levels are in the game. It actually has less levels than I thought. So, World 5 is just a boss, and that's it. Definitely one of the tougher bosses in the game, though, I would guess, if you don't know how to use your dash too well. There we go. When he does that, that hole, when he goes down underneath the stage, you don't want to touch it, because he'll actually grab you and do damage to you. This isn't doing any hits. And I don't think I can hit him like that. Yeah, it didn't work. And there we go, I think we just beat the game. So it's probably one of the most simplistic Let's Plays I've done in a long time, but it's still fun. It was still fun doing it. I'm glad I did it. Got to show off this game, because I know a lot of you guys out there probably haven't seen this game before, much like I hadn't seen it in person. It wasn't until I did my 32X playthrough that I decided to finally look up gameplay. And that's it. That's pretty much all we get. Just a congratulations message. And that is Tempo Junior for the Sega Game Gear. Like I said, it's a fun game. I don't see myself coming back to play it again, probably ever, other than to maybe show it off to people again on a live stream that haven't seen it. But aside from that, yeah, no intention on beating the game again. Still has a lot of charm, still looks decent, still sounds fine for a Game Gear game, and you know, again, I think if I was a kid and I had this back in the day, I would have really enjoyed it. Still had fun playing through it as an adult, but again, not much replay value for myself. There's no hard mode, there's no expert mode, nothing like that, no harder difficulties. I didn't really see any interesting cheats. I think there might be a level skip code or something like that. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, quite basic stuff. For those of you Tempo fans out there, though, that might be watching this, sometime in the future I am going to try to finish Super Tempo on the Sega Saturn and finally do a live stream or Let's Play of that, depending on how long it is. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. I'll definitely try to get around to that, because I do want to have all these Tempo games knocked out on my channel. I've currently got a full playthrough of Tempo on 32X on here as well, that we recently did via live stream. So, but yeah, really cool to see Tempo Junior in action. I'm glad I finally played through the game, so I know what it's like now, and yeah, good times. So, but that's gonna do it for me, guys. If you have any questions or comments or any feedback or anything, if you want to have any memories you want to share of this game, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. If you're new to my channel and you like Let's Plays like these, feel free to subscribe. I've got hundreds of Let's Plays on my channel, and plenty more to come. And until the next one, guys, take it easy.